Live from the Arcade Comedy Theater Lounge, located in beautiful downtown Pittsburgh, it's the Quarantine Quiz Show featuring Brad Stevenson, Sarah Kantner, and Aaron Kleiber. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's installment of Live from the Lounge. Let's bring our contestants in. Let's bring them in. Aaron, Sarah, Brad, everybody is here. We're good to go. We did it, folks. We did it. We overcame everything that was up against leading into this. Oh, it was something special. Pre-show is always a blasty blast with everybody.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I thought you meant we overcame everything. And I was like, whoa,
we did it?
I did not look at Facebook today.
What?
Shit.
Let me open Twitter. What the?
we overcame my ineptitude is what we did.
Ooh.
Thank you all for being here and joining me this week here live from the beautiful Arcade Comedy Theater Lounge. It's always good to welcome people into the theater. I've been in here since March by myself, talking to ghosts of strippers past that used to inhabit and work in this former porn shop on Liberty Avenue. So it's always good to have some voices echoing around, and it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun doing this show. We've had amazing guests, a lot of fun stories that everyone has shared. And, that's what this was all about. It was just about getting together with people that I love to watch on stage, love to perform with, and just having a good time for a good hour and just, shut off all the social medias and just sort of take a break and cleanse for an hour and hopefully get some laughs. So thank you all again for doing this. And we're excited for everybody watching at home. And, real quick, just to understand, Arcade Comedy Theater, we have been, shut down since March 13th. And, one of the things that we continue to do is work to raise money. And this show here is helping to support the Arcade Comedy Theater while we're temporarily closed down. Now, during the month of June, 50% of all the donations that are made to any of our shows that we are live streaming, including this one, will be earmarked for our Diversity Scholarship Fund. So we have a diversity scholarship fund that we have launched in December of 2019 to fully fund Arcade Academy educations for underrepresented voices in comedy, including Black, Indigenous, and people of color. So we awarded these first 4 scholarships back in January and hope that you can donate generously this month to continue to support this critical initiative. So any help, big or small, you can send our way is much appreciated. So Arcade can keep bringing Pittsburgh more laughs for all. So if you're watching this on the Arcade Live website, there's a button that you can click right below. And if you are watching through our Arcade YouTube channel, you can see in the description of the show, there will be a link for you to go ahead and go on and be able to and donate there. So thank you for all the support you have offered the Arcade through this time that we've been shut down. And hopefully soon we'll be able to talk about what the future of the Arcade is. So stay tuned. So all right, so we got that out of the way. Here it is. It's real simple. It's a quiz show that you don't need to know anything about. Nothing.
Yes.
So if you came in here and you were like, I have so much Harry Potter knowledge, I am gonna woo him. You're in the wrong show. I don't give a shit about that.
I mean, I'm still going to talk about Harry Potter exclusively.
It's very
I still know nothing about Harry Potter.
very possible. There is not a Slytherin round, but there are three different rounds. There are 3 questions per round, and we'll get them going right now as we get ready. Round 1 is sponsored. We do have sponsors for each one of our rounds. Round 1 is sponsored by Knights of the Arcade's online quest.
Oh,
Knights
what?
of the Arcade have gone online for the Arcade Comedy Theater since not long after the quarantine started and we shut down, and have done an amazing job going, and they've been on the platform of Twitch. It also can be streamed through our Arcade Live account as well, going on to arcadecomedytheater.com, and you'll be able to see that. Well, they have a show this Saturday, June 13th, that starts at 9 o'clock, and go and join those geeks doing what they do. And Brad is one of the leaders of the Knights of the Arcade. So thank you so much for all of your work that you and your friends have done for us. It is an absolute joy to watch you live on stage, and it's amazing how it is transmitted over to online, and it's been a lot of fun. So
it's pretty hilarious on Twitch. It is amazing.
Thanks, man. So yeah, it's been fun.
Great job. Well, great job. Well, enough patting you on the back, you son of a bitch. Let's get going. So we're going to jump right into question 1, and it comes from the category. It's the one we do every week. It's always the first question. It just gets the juices flowing. It gets the synapse firing, and it is called dropping bombs. Dropping bombs. So what dropping bombs is, I need to know, what is your worst on stage moment? When was it that bomb just dropped? It might not have been you bombing, but something went wrong while you were on stage and you were dropping a bomb. So we're going to get this question started with my good friend, Brad Stevenson. Talk about dropping that bomb.
I was in The Importance of Being Earnest here in Pittsburgh. Can't remember the character's name. It's the older woman in the show. If anybody can help me out with that one, that'd be awesome. But I can't remember the character's name. But it's the older woman. The actor in the show, she was amazing, awesome. I'm not going to mention her name because it's a slightly embarrassing story for her. She enters at one point, trips, falls. She's like 80 years old. Our amazing instinct as actors is to completely just turn away from her and act like it didn't happen. So that's probably like the most awkward, horrible onstage moment. This poor old woman tripping and falling, and everyone being terrible at acting and just pretending like this didn't happen in the room. So nobody helped her. Nobody helped her up. She's clawing at the back of the couch, trying to pull herself up, and we all just turned away and acted like nothing was going on.
Question one, Brad Stevens is coming out with old lady broken hip. Holy hell, that's unbelievable. Oh my goodness.
She shattered every bone.
Way to put those improvising skills to, this guy's just kept going with your lines. Amazing. All right.
Working with arcade yet at that point. So.
Dropping bombs onto you, Sarah. Talk to me about your worst on stage moment.
I would say the worst on stage moment I had, I was in the middle of doing an improv scene at arcade. I can't remember which team I was on. It was going fine. And then my character dropped the line, and my dad has cancer. Crickets. Just crickets. Yeah. I just was like, I'm going to add some humanity to this scene. It's a little wacky. Let's bring it back down to earth. That line shut everything down.
How do you yes and cancer, Sarah? I just don't know. I don't know. Well, good on you. Way to just hopefully you just swept that son of a bitch. Just get across the thing. All over from there. And Mr. Kleiber, Aaron, I want to know which one this is. I've heard a lot of them on road trips that we've been on.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, which one doesn't Jason know? I got a good one. I performed in Des Moines, Iowa at the Funny Bone, met this great couple who owns this company, and they're like, you got to come and do our Christmas party. I'm like, wow, okay, I'll fly to Des Moines for your Christmas party. This is amazing. We go to their Christmas, I stay at their house for dinner the night before. I mean, it's like they're very wealthy company, like gas and oil company. It's amazing. We go do the show where I'm doing the show for their dinner, right? And they said, okay, when we have dessert, you're going to go out. But first, we have a friend. Jason, did you hear this one? Okay. Yes. Okay. You didn't. Okay. We have a friend. He performs at the lake when we go there in the summertime. He's a magician. He used to perform in Vegas. He's going to go up before you. I was like, oh, this is terrible. I'm texting Lee Turbosic like, this magician is opening for me. And he's like, this dude, not only like you think like he's going to be some, middle of nowhere Iowa magician who used to do cruises. No, he was like legit, like brought boxes of things and props and animals. He had multiple animals. He did a 45-minute stage show, brought his own backdrop, did 45 minutes before me, made a goose disappear, pulled a pig out of a hat. and then took his backdrop down and was like, okay, next up. He took his stuff and they're like, okay, well, we'll wait like 10 minutes and then we'll reconvene for your show. I'm like, I'm the one getting paid to do this. This is so terrible. As soon as it's time to get ready, everyone's done with dessert and it's my part of the show. The Iowa State whatever game is on, and every dude and half of the women are watching football at the bar. And now there's like 9 like just nice grams and ants that are left at the dinner. And they're like, you go ahead. Go. And the wife that owns the company, she's like, you just go ahead, honey. Go ahead. I do 35 minutes to like 9 of my aunts while everyone's cheering on Iowa football behind me. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Now I'll take my check and fly home on your dime. Like
That's it.
The whole time you're just like, just go, just keep saying your jokes, just say your jokes and do your time. Yeah, that was rough.
Well, I would say as you were leading into the story, it had all the makings of an Eyes Wide Shut in Des Moines situation.
That's actually where I thought it was.
Yeah.
And like this couple, anyways, we could go on about that forever. Great story. Christmas following Joe Exotic, the magician. Oh man, what a show. So let's get some points thrown around here. Let's just softball some points. We'll get it started. We got an old lady breaking her leg. You got Yes and Cancer, and you got Joe Exotic, the magician, opening up for Aaron Kleiber. I'm just going to keep it soft and easy to start. You feel good. You're all smiling. 200 points for each of you. Thank you for bearing your souls.
That's generous.
Nice.
Thank you.
Just getting you It's just getting you started. That's all. Get you feel good. But now we're on to question number 2. Question number 2 is from the category, who's your daddy? Who is your daddy? Who is your favorite television dad? Who is your all-time favorite television dad? The dad that you wish was your own. Sarah, who's your daddy?
This is tough, but I'm going to go with the first thing that came to mind, which is Ted Danson in Curb Your Enthusiasm. Isn't he a dad in that? Is there the episode with the pinata?
Is he? I don't think.
Thinking about the pubic hair and the throat one.
No, the Chet's shirt, the shirt one with the pinata. Is that his kid's party, or is that somebody else's party?
I think that's somebody else, but I will give
But
you.
if I had to go with the classic dad, because I just went with what's off the top of my head, a classic dad.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I just have to go Danny Tanner because I used to watch that all the time.
No, you took mine.
Danny Tanner is
Brad. There are more dads in the sea, Brad.
It's
More dads in
hard,
the sea.
I'm gonna throw a flag on that.
Usually I don't worry about if there's duplicate answers, but Danny Tanner is off the board. You have to go another one, and you have a moment to think about it, because Aaron Kleiber, who's your daddy?
I'm gonna go with Uncle Phil.
Nice.
Uncle Phil. I would live with them for sure.
Yeah, that's good. It's good.
Yeah.
They got the money. They got the responsibility. He was strict, but he was kind and funny.
Good dad, man.
Just a good dad.
Yeah.
Like
good
raising other people's kids.
Yes.
That's how good.
Yes. Very good. All right, Brad. Danny Tanner's off the board. Uncle Phil's off the board.
I'm going. I can't. His name is escaping me. I know the actor's name, Reginald Vell Johnson.
Oh, okay.
From Family Matters.
Carl Winslow.
Carl Winslow is my choice because he was also in Die Hard, and I'm assuming it's the same character. Right?
Same dude. He's the same cop
character.
in 9 movies. It's amazing.
Yeah. So we've got.
He didn't kill Steve Urkel, and so I think that.
Yeah, no, I'll give it to you there. And hey, listen, the thing about this show, there are no wrong answers, right? But you have to get points, and some of your answers aren't as good as the others.
Yeah,
and
it feels like Danny Tanner was the right answer, but hey,
Well,
He's honestly the only one I could think of.
Yep.
After Ted Danson, who might not have been a dad.
2 dads. 2 of the dads come from TGI. They come from TGIF, right? 2 of them. Both were on Friday nights back in the day, if I'm not mistaken.
Jason, what if Ted Danson from Cheers could be your dad? He's just a drunk old ball player who owns a bar.
My dad.
Yeah.
That's my dad. Hey,
I don't think Fresh Prince was on the TGIF lineup. But
no,
I could be mistaken.
NBC. That was NBC.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince was on NBC. Uncle Phil is my winner. If I was going to go and choose, it was going to be Uncle Phil, and I'm going to give you 9,000.
What?
90,210 points for the area code 90210. You get 90,210 points for Friday night. Seventh night of the week, I'm calling it because my weekend starts on a Saturday. You're getting 70,000 points for it falling on Fridays. So that's 70,000 points for both Danny Tanner and Carl Winslow. If you're keeping score at home, let me know because I have no clue about numbers. Good stuff, everybody. All right, so we are now on to question number 3 of round 1, and it is, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. If you had a superpower, what would it be? If you had a superpower, what would it be? Aaron, you are starting this question off on the clock. It's ticking. What's your superpower?
I immediately was going to say fly. That was the first fly. Yeah. I mean, gosh, no gasoline, no planes. Amazing.
Right. All right.
No luggage, though.
Reducing your carbon footprint. I like what you're doing there. It's very good. Very good answer. Nice and quick. Brad, what's your superpower?
Eliminating COVID-19.
Oh, well, I think that you're like Jason. How can you not give me the most points for that answer? Because if I don't, then you're like, oh, so you're for the coronavirus?
You like it?
You son of a bitch!
Sarah can only win with one answer: eliminate racism.
Yeah, I was gonna go there, but
all right.
The only way to win.
Yeah.
All right. So Sarah, what's your superpower?
To eliminate racism.
All right, there it is. I agree.
I mean, and that would be quite a superpower.
And you know what? I'm feeling it because I didn't pick either of those. I'm selfish.
Yeah, you were a little selfish.
Like I want to fly everywhere.
You were.
Screw everyone else.
I want to fly above the COVID. So get away from those people.
I want to get away from all of it.
Alone.
All right. So we've got flying, we've got curing a pandemic, we've got curing racism on the board. Thank you all for that.
So sorry,
I can't decide between the two. They're very important. So the points that I'm giving for Sarah and Brad, priceless.
Oh.
But I'm going to give 1 million points. It's 1 million points for each of you on that. 1 million points. And Aaron, because you're a selfish son of a bitch.
Yeah. No.
And flying is a solo mission. You're getting 1 point for that answer.
Yeah, you know what?
1 point. Point for the
mute
solo.
me for 10.
That's it. All right. So that's the end of round 1. That's how easy it is. That's how quick we go. We're right on track. Before we get into round 2, hey, I just like to get to know you all a little bit, So it's like Trebek coming over to the podium, right? And Trebek's coming over and he's just like, so what's going on? So Sarah, let's start with you, Sarah. Sarah, just simple question for you. How you been?
I've been all right. I mean, as all right as you can be.
All right.
Currently.
I love it. Performing. I've seen you recently. I seen you recently on, I believe, Jerome's show. It was you and Kyle. And I laughed ridiculously because at one point there was something about cheese on tits. And that to me, I was like, that's it. I shut the laptop and was like, there's nothing that can follow that.
I just, in that show, I was like, what, we just got to keep topping it. What are we going to do? And then that came out of my mouth and I was like, yep, shut it down.
Shut it down.
Shut it down.
Shut it down. Good stuff. Thank you for doing this show, Sarah. You're the
Thanks
best.
for having me.
Very much. Brad. Brad, my good old Stone Cold, the leader of the Knights of the Arcade. Thank you for joining us. We know that you had a loss in your family this past week. We love you, brother. The Arcade family loves you. And, we're glad that you're able to spend this time with us today and during a difficult time. So thank you so much for that. And, let's talk about. I just want to talk about the Knights real quick.
Yeah.
I've known the Knights since they've been around since the theater started, and I remember my first experience because I've never done. I know what D&D is. I was never one of the players for something like that. Walked in with a 6-pack of beer by myself one night because I knew my wife wouldn't be down with that shit, and I've been hooked ever since. How did it originate for you all to come together to pitch and do that show for the first time at 811?
So I think so. We've been friends with Mike and Abby for a very long time. Abby in particular, who's one of the founding creative directors, and they mentioned starting this theater, and they were looking for shows that were a little bit outside the norm because it is a nonprofit, which allows the flexibility to do different things and try and fail and pivot. And we had just started playing D&D here in my basement. And Fred Betzner, who is the co-producer of the show, said, "Hey, Abby asked about these shows. What do you think about playing D&D on stage?" There were some podcasts at the time that were doing it. And they were really serious about it. And they were funny, but they played with all the rules of encumbrance and how much you can carry and all that shit that nobody cares about. And so we were like, well, what if we just made it a comedy show? And we just, we had dice rolls and suggestions from the audience, and both of those things drove it. So it was really because Arcade is a nonprofit and allows for sort of wacky things to happen. They don't have to worry about the 2-drink minimum and all that stuff that a for-profit space has to worry about. So
yeah. Was awesome, and it is. And once we're back and back at it here, but make sure go see Knights of the Arcade Online Quest this Saturday night at 9:00 on arcadecomedytheater.com, and go and see the show stream from there. But live is something else. Audience members dressed up in character costumes. It's a blast. It's a real blast. Oh, my brother Aaron Kleiber, my good friend, my main man, dude. Thank you so much for doing this.
Of course.
And
this is dope.
When I first started pitching the idea for this show, I had a whole list of people, and I was like, but Kleiber, I'm going to hold on. I want him as I get my legs underneath me as I was under your tutelage and been under your tutelage in comedy for a while. Thank you so much. You introduced so many of people in Pittsburgh to the Arcade Comedy Theater and brought us along for the ride. The first stand-up program director for the Arcade, really helped understand what stand-up brings to the table for this theater, and it's been a great ride to see it happen and you being a part of it, and most importantly, seeing your special and watching you, and we were there live and got to see it recorded and be a part of that journey. Man, how amazing was it for that? We understand the long ride to get there. You don't shoot a special and a month later it's on streaming sites. It's a journey. It's a journey. But man, honestly, from your heart, what did it feel like when this is happening, it's going live, and it's just this moment now of seeing yourself achieve that?
I just thank you for saying all that. Arcade is my comedy home, my comedy heart. So thanks, man. Of course. I was so happy to have you involved and Sean Collier there and be part of that. Is amazing. I guess it's just something like that takes so long, and you pour so much. And anybody that's ever made an album or made made songs or wrote a play or wrote sketches, and you do it forever, and you want it to be great. And it's kind of a relief. It's kind of like there you go. Okay, here you go. It's like that, because it's such a long process, especially if you're not someone like Jim Gaffigan, who they're like, yes, put this out there. Here you go. Let's put it everywhere. So you gotta work for yourself. You gotta fight for yourself. So yeah. It's, that long process. And then finally you're just like, thank you. Just take that. Here, yes. I'm done with it. So it's like, now I'm like, is it out still? I don't know. Who cares?
It's still out there. It's still out there, and it's amazing to watch. And
thanks, brother.
And I even got some messages like, I seen your name in the credits. I'm like, he credited some people that were there. It was a real
Yeah.
fun time. What an experience, just personally, to see that and be a part of that was really
Yeah, of
dope.
course. Thanks, brother.
Really cool, man. It was one of the highlights of definitely
Thanks.
definitely the highlight of my comedy experience. So,
Hey, Aaron, do you get a text? Do you get a text alert every time somebody watches that?
No. Yeah, no.
yeah.
I actually don't. I haven't even paid attention. I don't even know. Whatever.
There it is. Well, good deal. Again, thank you all. There's a little bit, get to know a little bit about your contestants. Thank you all again for doing it. I can't thank you enough, but we're on to round two. And round two is sponsored by Fresh Fest DigiFest 2020. Our good friends, Dave Bracey and Ed Bailey, the drinking partners, they host a monthly stand-up show here at the arcade. And, they started America's first Black beer festival, Black run, the vendors, the beer, just bringing people from all over the country. This got their ass put in the Smithsonian. These two gentlemen are in the Smithsonian for what they did. And obviously this year they had a big festival planned, and we know what happened there. So they made a pivot like all of us had to do, and they've gone digital with it. So it's coming up. You go ahead on to freshfestdigifest.com or go on Facebook and go ahead and just look up Fresh Fest, and it'll pop up, and go and support these two incredible comedians and great men that are forging forward of giving a voice to Black brewers across the world. And it's an amazing festival. So make sure that you can go ahead and find a way to support, whether it's by buying a ticket. I can't wait to see what they put together, because every time those two dudes put something together, they go all out and they do the right thing. So just a shout out to Ed and Day, and thank you so much for everything that you guys have done for the arcade and what you do for the community of Pittsburgh. Very good. So this is round two. Question one of the crowd favorites. I get more emails, hundreds upon hundreds of emails about this one question. It's become the hero of I put it right in the middle, and is that who I think that is? I want you to tell me about a story of a chance encounter, a run-in maybe, with a celebrity. Not somebody that you've performed with, not somebody that you've opened for, but somebody that you maybe just bumped into at Ross Park Mall on Saturday. I want to know, is that who I think that is? That one's going. Sarah, we're going to start with you on this one. Chance encounter with a celebrity.
Mute.
Sarah, you're muted.
Sarah, I know your dog was barking, so you got to unmute. That was
we all let her go for a little.
I know the beast was. That is why the beast was barking.
Let that beast roar.
I guess I'm going to go with one that it kind of involves a celebrity, or what I thought was a celebrity. I was in the Ross Park Mall with my best friend, and we were in H&M. We were buying some stuff. We're in line, and I just go white, like face, just like pale. And I slap my friend in the arm so hard, and I yell, "Oh my God, that's Dustin Hoffman." And she just starts hysterically laughing. This guy turns around and she's like, "That's just somebody's dad." So it wasn't a celebrity, but I had thought that I had stood behind Dustin Hoffman in the Ross Park Mall H&M until my friend called me out for it. This man was just somebody's like dad taking his daughter to buy some clothes, and I just immediately was so thrilled. The joy I felt when I thought I was behind Dustin Hoffman can't be explained, only to just be crushed within seconds.
Dustin Hoffman's doppelganger at H&M at Ross Park Mall, you sons of bitches. That's amazing. What a fun story. I wish your friend would have let you go and let you do the whole thing.
I know, right?
That
if she's
story.
watching, I hope she hears that.
Oh my goodness. That's a great story. Hey, Brad, is that who I think that is?
So I was in Times Square, which is not the Ross Park Mall. So I know it's, and it is about a Dustin Diamond. So we're walking down the street in Times Square. Dustin Diamond and his girlfriend were walking in the opposite direction, and I turn around because I was like in my 20s and I was a jerk, and I yelled screech at Dustin Diamond, and everybody does, I'm sure. And you know, we were like chuckling or whatever. His girlfriend came up to me and she goes, "If you want to talk to him, he's very approachable. Like he'll talk to you if you want to just have a conversation with him." I was like, "No, thank you." And then like a year later in Pittsburgh, I saw him again at Bar Louie and yelled screech.
What a button! What a button on that story! What a button on that story!
Like everyone, literally everyone who sees him does. Every single person.
Before I get to your answer, Aaron, you've never performed with Dustin Diamond, have you? A lot of comics in Pittsburgh. There's quite a few that have opened.
I have not.
Okay, very good. I'm glad that's not on your resume. Glad that is not on.
That would be crazy.
Yes,
all Dustins.
So
he's like a very nice guy.
Oh yeah, we have two Dustins going. So Aaron, are you gonna break the Dustin?
Yeah, I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't. I can't. I'm trying to make up a Dustin. Dusty Rhodes? No.
Oh.
So I was walking in the Whole Foods in Santa Monica just to go in and get dinner when I was there, and. Wait, I'm trying not to mix it up. We were leaving, and on their phone walks right into me and my buddy Vinny. Vinny Fastline has performed at Arcade. Walks into both of us like not paying attention. Al Pacino. Like slams into us, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I don't do Al Pacino, But he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He's like, "Fellas, I'm sorry." He's like touching our shoulders, and we're like, we're just like frozen. And then he just like runs in the store, and we're both like looking at each other, and we're like, "That was Al Pacino." And Vinny goes, "That was Al Pacino!" And he runs away. I'm like, "You live here. I'm the tourist. Why are you chasing celebrities? Like what?" And he chases him down the aisle, and he's like, "Fellas, I'm late. Fellas, I'm late." And I'm like, "Would you you're a resident here? Can you please leave Al Pacino alone?" And by the way, he looked full Al Pacino. Like he had his bracelets, his scarf on. Later that night, I think we were performing at the Improv in Hollywood or something. We look up on the TV, 11:45 midnight. Al Pacino, same outfit, sitting on Leno. He was running into Whole Foods real quick before Leno.
Oh my goodness!
That's
What a
so
fun!
cool.
What a fun!
Crazy!
What a fun story! What a fun
I totally
encounter.
botched that. I botched that, Jason, because I shared an elevator ride with Natalie Portman in my own building, and I had Taco Bell and a bottle of wine, and she looked at it and she goes, "Classy." And then she gets off the elevator in my shitty apartment building in New York.
What shade? What shade?
It was. I think it was a joke,
Yeah,
or maybe it
funny,
was
though.
shade.
It was
I don't
good.
know.
Oh my goodness! But yeah, that definitely eliminated a lot of points from you because that
I was going for the double Dustin.
Yeah,
I was going for
the double Dustin was. I liked what you're thinking there, but two Dustins equals a cancel out. That cancels both of you out because we can't have the same names to answer questions because actually neither one of them are celebrities in your stories. So 0 points to both of you because I hate Screech. And Aaron. It's Pacino, man. It's Pacino. I had a feeling you'd bring the goods. I'm giving you 10,000 points for that. 10,000 points for that one, my friend.
I didn't know it was like the best celebrity that you saw.
Yeah.
Hey, like I
I
said,
saw Ray Liotta. I saw Harrison Ford.
Oh,
I got a few.
Okay, here we go.
I was in a bar with Haley Joel Osment.
Oh,
When he was 9?
You just lost more points. All right. You just lost more points. All right. There's no rhyme to reason to the points, folks. Okay. Just understand I'm not the end decider. All of the votes, all of the points get sent off in a quick email out to our home office in Walla Walla, Washington.
Right.
I let the suits handle the business.
Clearly.
Okay. I don't want to lose friendships. I love all of you. Okay. I'm just the hired gun here. Okay. I'm just the hired gun. And we are on to question number 2 in round 2. And this category is things that make me say, Things that make me say, So, in the 1997 epic movie, Titanic, I ask you all, if indeed Rose would have scooched over a little bit and let Jack get up on the door float, What if they lived happily ever after? Would that relationship have gone on once they reached America? Think about that for 2 seconds as we decide that we're going to go with Brad. Brad, was that a relationship built to last?
I think it was.
Okay.
I think that nobody would ever want to see that sequel. I think it would be just like any sort of like the beginnings of a relationship. It's very romantic, and then things become mundane. There wouldn't be as many sort of like below deck or Irish dances. No more portraits being drawn. People playing sexily on couches.
Nice.
You know, it would just be like, I'm off to work again. You're still wearing that necklace. I see. Great. You know, we could sell that and I wouldn't have to go to work. That sort of thing. So I think they would have made it.
Okay, very good. They're
good kids.
They're good kids. They were two good kids. Aaron, I know you've probably seen it at least once. Once, right?
Oh yeah. I remember that year. Chris Prexta dragged me to it like 3 times. I remember.
Of course he did.
I full disclosure, that was the year that I got married, 1997, and we've seen it at the theater 5 times. The 5th time I did fall asleep. I love the story of the actual Titanic. So I kind of dig that. But what do you think? Those 2 crazy kids, you think they had a future, Clive?
No, I do not. I think he is a womanizer and a con man. And I think that is not the first time he has seduced a emotionally torn woman into taking her clothes off and sketching her. He's a piece of shit. And she knew what she was. I'm glad that, well, you know what? She could never forget him ever again. So it ultimately worked. So
it did.
It's terrible.
He would have been on the Hindenburg later if he could.
Yeah, he would have cheated. He would have cheated on her as soon as they got to Bristol or wherever. I don't know where they were going. New York.
Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. Very good. Yeah, that's a no. That's a no. Aaron doesn't believe in love. All right, here we go. On to Sarah.
I'm surprised Prexta took you to that. It wasn't set in the 1980s.
I know.
So Sarah, you're familiar? You're familiar?
Yeah. I think that might have been one of the first ones I saw in the movie theater as a kid.
Okay.
But I'm going to also agree with Aaron and say that's a hard no. Because class politics exist. And I'm telling you, Rose's mommy and daddy were going to snatch that money away from her the minute she said she was dating someone who worked on that ship. So no way. She,
Good take.
Yeah, she stayed on that piece of wood because she knew what was at stake. So
okay.
She would have bailed on her parents.
You know what?
Wow.
They had that necklace, man.
All 3 of you made great story. You know, really sold it to me. I believe in love, but I don't believe in that love. I don't believe in either one of those 2. And honestly, I think Sarah finally solved the problem of, was there enough room on the door? There was. Everyone knows there was. And Sarah solved it. She goes, she didn't want that son of a bitch coming with her. She was ready. It was time to move on. She knew what was happening. She got Billy Zane, the wife beater, and they shooting the people out of the way. She had fun for a few days, and she's out. So, Sarah, 27,000 points. 27,000 points.
Yes.
Aaron, I'm going to knock you down a little bit there. It was a good, you believe in it, that it wasn't going to happen either. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give you a nice solid 20,000 points.
Thank you. That's the right thing to do.
And Brad, I'm giving you 19,500 because you believe in love. You know what I mean? I got to give you love for that. So that's good. So thank you for helping me get through that. It's been bothering me since 1997. I am now good to go.
I also saw Billy Zane right before lockdown in California. Does any bonus points for that?
Time to mute Brad.
God, Dustin Diamond. It was terrible.
Billy Zane.
Oh my goodness. Brad Stevenson's going to write a book of all those times he almost met somebody. All right, good stuff. On to question 3 of round 2. Question 3. Let's get down to it, folks. Let's get personal. It's just the 4 of us right here.
Nitty gritty.
4 of us. Let's get into the heart. Let's get into the deep stuff and understand. I want to know, this comes from the category of your first time. This category is your first time. And I want to know, what was your first concert? What was your first live music experience? We can't experience anything live right now, but man, think back to what was that first one that you went, you maybe waited outside the National Record Mart for a ticket like I did for Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run tour in 1986.
That was your first concert?
No, my first concert was
Oh.
1979, Kiss Destroyer. I was 5 years old at the Civic Arena. All right, that was also the first time I got high. Secondhand smoke. All right. Here we go. Aaron Kleiber, what was your first live concert?
I don't think this was my first, but this is the first.
It's okay.
I remember. I think we've talked about this. I went to see Aerosmith with like a bunch of like my stepbrother and like family and friends, and like, but my mom wasn't there, and I was like 9. Something. It was like 1990 or something.
That was straight in the middle of Love in the Elevator.
Yeah, it's
the shittiest version of Aerosmith ever.
Yeah, it was. I remember like Walk This Way was a thing.
Oh,
that was the big thing. Like,
Yeah,
I remember the very little.
Yeah, Walk This Way was 87.
Yeah, okay.
87, so it was definitely probably an encore. An encore.
I remember that was a
too.
big deal. Yeah, I remember that part.
Good stuff. So Aaron went with Aerosmith. That's a fun show, man. I bet.
Now I'm like, I want to like look it up. I'm like, when was that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good one. Sarah, what was your first time like? What was it?
Oh, my first concert was 98 Degrees and Bewitched at the Johnstown War Memorial.
It's a good one.
They were like just coming up hot. They were still wearing their firefighter uniforms. My mom took me with some girls I played softball with. I'm pretty sure that's who we were with.
Perfect.
I still wish I had this t-shirt. It was a great time. I also remember begging my mom around the same period to go see Kid Rock at the War Memorial, but that was just shut down, which good on her.
Yeah, that was that. She knew what was best for you there.
Yeah,
I too have seen a show at the Johnstown War Memorial, and it is one of my favorite stories to be able to tell. I seen Metallica in 1986 open for Ozzy on their Master of Puppets tour, and that was the last time that their original bass player played with them before he got killed in their bus accident. So I did as a fan. So there you go. That was not my first time, but it was my first and only time seeing a concert in Johnstown, PA. All right, the metropolis of Johnstown. We turn to my friend from West Virginia, and I'm afraid this is going to be a humdinger. Brad, what was your first time?
Look, I want to say it was Paul McCartney in Cincinnati, Ohio, but I have to say that was my second. I have to say it was the fucking right. Oh, can I say that word?
Oh, fucking yeah.
Cool, sweet. I don't know what the rules are. Righteous Brothers in Charleston, West Virginia. The Righteous Brothers.
Unchained Melody.
I took my high school date. Along with I think my older brother, who escorted us on this date to see the Righteous Brothers. And I am not that old. They were only popular. It was after Ghost. Like they had their comeback, and they were so old and tired on stage at that point. It was a good.
How many times did they play Unchained Melody?
I mean,
just over and over on a loop.
That's all it was. It was like one more time.
And they did the I Had the Time of My Life song, the one dude from that. But it wasn't the original woman. Like it wasn't the woman who sang that with him. I don't even know who sang it with him. Does anybody know?
We'll play music trivia on your show sometime. All right, moving on.
Anyway, it wasn't her.
Very good. Great answers all around. Aerosmith coming strong. What year was that, Aaron?
I think it was like 90. It had to be like 90.
Yeah, 1990. You're getting 90 points for that answer. Very good. Sarah, what year was your first
I'm going to
concert?
say 98 for 98 Degrees.
You were getting 98 points for 98 Degrees anyways. And Brad, how old is the oldest Righteous Brother when you seen them live?
128.
128 points go to Brad Stevenson.
Correct.
That's amazing. What a
That is correct.
Wow, what a great, you believe it? We're through 2 rounds. We're coming down the home stretch. That's 2 rounds we got in our back pocket, and we've got 1 round to go. And the fun thing about round 3, there's only one question. So we're getting down to it. It's time. You've worked hard to this point, but it's all going to pay off here at the end. Round 3 is sponsored by the Arcade at Home fundraising opportunity that you have. I talked about at the top of the show. I'd like to hit it again. Make sure that everybody that's watching understands that in the month of June, that we are taking 50% of all of our donations made to the arcade that will be earmarked towards our Diversity Scholarship Fund, which we launched back in December of 19, which fully funds academy educations for underrepresented voices in comedy. That's including Black, Indigenous, and people of color. So we awarded the first 4 this past January. It's an amazing program. It's another thing that just makes me proud to be a part of this organization and be a part of this great group and great community of artists. So donate. If you're watching on Arcade Live, you'll see the button, boom, click it, throw us a couple dollars. Any amount matters. It all works for us. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and look in the comments and you'll see the link there as well. So thank you all again as you continue to support as we get ready for the final round, the final question. It is the lightning round titled Choose. Choose. You will each be given an opportunity to choose one of these cards. Card 1, card 2, or card 3. On the back of this card is a randomly selected opportunity for you to choose from. All right. So as we're getting ready here, we're down to the final question. And Sarah, you're the first to choose. So which will it be? Card number 1, card number 2, or card number 3?
I'm going to go with number 3.
Number 3. It's a good. Let's see what we've got here. Randomly selected. Sarah. 90-Day Fiancé or Before the 90 Days. Choose.
Before the 90 days.
There it is. You were solid. You knew what was up.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
It's so
right
nice
there.
to see it before.
Yes. Oh, very good. Brad.
I'm nervous now because I don't even know what the hell that last one meant. So
1 or 2?
I'm going to go number 2.
Number 2. Good. Oh, good choice here. All right, here we go. Star Wars or the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Choose.
I'm going Marvel Cinematic Universe. That was amazing what they did with that decade run.
All right. Very good. Very good. He feels confident about that. And Aaron, you've just got card number 1 left. You just left with the scraps.
I'm gonna take number 1, Jason.
You're taking number 1. You got that one, number 1.
I'm confident that's the one.
All right. Just a quick callback to the Dustin Diamond reference earlier. I'd like to dispel all the young kids out there. Dustin Diamond is not related to Mike D from the Beastie Boys. Just let you know.
Not related to Michael Diamond.
That's some bullshit. So here we go. Oh boy, card number. Wow, 1. Boy, it's amazing you picked this one, Aaron. Beastie Boys or Star Wars? Beastie Boys or Star Wars?
Honey, I'm having an existential crisis.
Choose.
Beastie Boys.
Boom. Beastie Boys. See how simple that was, everybody? You 3 were not, you guys randomly selected those. It seemed like they kind of got personal.
I just let my heart speak.
That's it. So, hey, as we're talking here, thanks again. I'm just sending an email off, send it off to Walla Walla, let the corporate office deal with their BS and what they're going to do to elect who truly is the winner of this.
Can you please CC my people?
Yes, we'll CC your people, all your people. I'll send your wife the CC. She's got it.
That's it.
Little Lukey, he gets the CC.
That's it.
But thank you all for doing this and coming on. It's a lot of fun. Thank you for everybody watching. It's been a lot of fun doing this. We're going to keep doing it, keep having fun with it, and we've got more great guests that are lined up. Oh, here we go. Got the email. Well, here we go. Finishing in third place. Sarah Cantner. Sarah, trying to, the bigwig said, hey, her trying to slip in a non-celebrity celebrity story was a bad call. So, and also they were a little worried about the cancer reference. That story.
Of course.
All right.
Cancer gets you canceled.
Cancer can get you canceled. And here we go. Number one, the winner of this week's quarantined crown goes to the pride of West Virginia, Brad Stevenson. You did it. You brought home the victory. You made.
I think I got the sympathy points on this.
Hey, Walla Walla. They know what they're doing. They've not picked a wrong winner any one of these weeks that we've done it. This was a lot of fun. We will have a tournament of champions. Just a spoiler alert for everybody. There will be some tournament of champions stuff going on. But what a fun night. Thank you all. Hey, I don't blow the light. We run a tight ship. We get it. We brought it under. It's a good time. I thank each one of you for taking your time out tonight. And you know what? Be safe. Take care of each other. Love one another. And wear your goddamn mask.
Wear your mask.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome, Jason.
Mask on.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother.
See everybody again next week, Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. 3 new contestants. Keep an eye out on